Hi, you are listening to the Father Support Network podcast. This podcast is for single fathers and fathers in general. On this podcast, we educate, inform, guide, encourage, and help fathers navigate the complex challenges of maintaining contact and healthy relationships with their children after separation or divorce. Your host is Dr. Michael Uwangba. Michael Uwangba is a father of three who successfully fought for the right of his children to have their father in their lives.
Well, hello and happy Friday. Well, listen, don't get food by the sun. It's quite chilly. It's really cold, man. The temperature is really dipped a lot. Well, we'll get on with what we want to talk about today. Today I want to react to a news that I've seen. I think talking about the rise of stay-at-home dads, stay-at-home fathers. We have about 18% of stay-at-home fathers, and he's talking about why are we having stay-at-home dads, and there was reference to the recession 2008. Losing the job, and some disability, sickness, retirement, going back to school. But by and large, the cross of the story is like more women are getting into education, getting career, getting like good paying jobs. Some of the men are not getting a good paying job. But there's another striking thing that I saw where it said most stay-at-home dads are generally less educated, or economically poor or disadvantaged. Well, there's certain elements of truth in all of this. But I don't think that's the big story as well. I think again, it's a combination of these and many other things. But if I talk again, it was not necessarily true. That there are some that have been put in that situation where, again, it's also life choice. Where you have situation where fathers are also stepping up to the plate. I don't think those articles capture that. I've seen where that is currently been at that receiving end of women's wrath, because it's a father of one that is saying that it's easy, that women complain a lot. It's not. I'll side with the women. Being a father of three, being a single dad of three, they can listen. It's the toughest job. It's the toughest job you could ever do. You think, oh, it's just 24 hours. It's just no. I'm sat here now to pick up the kids from school. Go pick up my older daughter. Come back again. You have to fix breakfast. You got to do washing. That's a serious work. It should be paid, and most of this are unpaid work. They're not what they're rewarded. But from a man's perspective, from a man that has been doing this for years now, I remember my daughter. Started looking at my daughter when my daughter was not even up to 1 or thereabout, but now she's coming up to 7, and my older ones are coming up to secondary school age. I tell you, it is. But I'm not. I'm highly educated. Because sometimes people look at you and don't understand how you do it. If I'm extremely highly educated, to the highest degree, and I got my portfolio. I got a lot of stuff I do. On top of that, on top of looking after the kids. So I guess they should be talking to people like us to see how we do it. How it's not necessarily it's a choice, but I think naturally the majority of stay-at-home parents are still women, 80%. Is it of choice, but I've chosen to do that. Growing up, I wouldn't say, I grew up in a traditional home, a father and mom in the house. So I'm raised in that tradition where my mom was the homemaker, homekeeper, and dad was the provider. My dad had to work most part of my life. My dad worked. My mom worked as well, but he worked at home, or she worked at home, or did. And so, but she was generally the one that oversaw, the household and stuff like that. but we live in the world where women have more opportunity, more having big opportunities. There's still, people still say there's still some disparity in gender, but by and large, you can see from these figures that women have opportunities to go to schools. Most in the Western world, women will be mostly to university educated and stuff, get a good job. But then again, it also speaks to our nature as humans. I don't see these gender roles. For me, I do everything. I'm very much in balance with my masculine and feminine side. I can cook. And I'm still masculine. And I can look after the kids. I've been looking after my kid from my daughter from zero. I could do school runs. I've been doing that for years. I'd help them with the homework, and they should the kids. I cook, I clean, I do all of that, and I'm still direct compliments, and I still have people that I lead, and I still have time to do the volume of work that I do. Is it easy? No, nothing in life is easy. Nobody says it's easy, but it's tough. But I think professionals as well are doing that. It's very difficult. I'm finding the time. I think another time I'll be looking at giving some tips. It's not like I want to encourage that, but again, we should, when you're in a relationship, you should find a way to support each other rather than seeing it as it's a problem. It's not a problem, depending on, if you see as one, if you see each other as one, then you can die. It does not mean anything. But I think where the problem is I'll just speak on this lastly. Where the problem is when you the nature of a woman, usually women want men that are ambitious, men that are lead. You hear a lot of women will say, I wanted to take charge, I wanted to plan the date, I wanted to lead, I wanted to do all of that. Women want men that are naturally women want men that are higher than them. And that's why I don't understand how you pursue equality and still want someone higher than you. So again, if a woman is ambitious and climbing the ladder of career or education, and then your pool of men that you get reduces. Let's say your man has time and time to do all this. But I've seen people as well, associates that I say the woman don't respect that man. Well, that's where the irony comes, and that's where it becomes very challenging, because if the man don't then look down on that man, still you have to respect that man as your man. Don't look at that man as a failure. So that's another angle that we've not touched upon. So if the man is, but then also don't talk down on the man. Don't make the man look like, oh, you clean. I hear some say, oh, you do the clean and then you don't respect that man. Now, if you make a baby and it's work. So if you want to pursue career and the man is gonna, you're in a partnership. You're bringing the money doesn't make you any more important or higher. But I've seen this one. I said she's higher than she was working as a nurse, and the man she was with or whatever was a bus driver, and then she said, I'm higher in what sense? I don't know. Higher in terms of maybe you're earning more, or higher in the sense that you're a nurse, he's a bus driver. So this is where the irony comes in, and I think this is where we need to fix. So this takes it back to is that natural woman's role to be in the kitchen, to be in the household. Look at these things. This is what the things we need to iron out. And but I don't think it's difficult. I don't think it's any big deal. Me personally, I don't think it's any big deal for a man to do chores around the house. But when you want to impose that, when a woman thinks, I've seen women like that personally, when they feel like their situation economically is a bit better, they look down and talk down on the man. That's what the problem is. So, but I'm not in that situation. We're talking about maybe in a single household where there's their own fathers. That's a different niche category. That's where I belong. I don't know. I do my things. Like I said, I was raised properly. I've got a strong feminine side and strong masculine side, and I'm not thinking that my kids are again the best of both worlds, but they have content. They spend quality time with their moms as well, and get all of that. So I don't have a problem with that. But I think as time goes on, with the way work is changing, the work dynamics is changing. We might be having a lot of that. They cited the pandemic as well. You know, people lost jobs, people are changing jobs, people can work from home and all of that. But my kind of situation at the time, my work situation, it helps me to be able to do that. But would I rather not do that? Would I rather have, you know, in my situation, I'm happy that I'm blessed to be in the kids' life. But if I was to be in a relationship that I would like to put my legs up sometimes as well. But yeah, I'm that kind of supportive father at that time. I'm hands-on. So I think maybe it's based on my personality. I'm hands-on. But anyways, leave it at that and say we need to, whilst we're talking about that, we also need to have the factors that are increasing this and the complications that about how we're able to move beyond that disrespect or the way some female might, or mothers or women might perceive a man that is doing that. So it's that kind of like perception. If we can change it, I don't see anything wrong with that. But you know, a man can do that. A woman, they say what a man can do, woman can do, but it's not what they say. So, anyways, let me leave it at that, and I'll see you some other time.